Have the honor to have Dr. Preeti Batra, Holistic Growth Clarity Coach, co-founder of WESV HORIZONS LLP, and Marketing PR Head for Professional Speakers Association of India. Without further ado, let's welcome the speaker onto the dais. Hi Preeti, good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to
Good
our show.
evening. Good
Uh,
evening. Good evening.
yes, Preeti.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, Prem Kumarji. And thank you so much for introducing me and inviting me for this beautiful program. I'm so glad that I'll be able to add some value to people's life. So, yeah.
Okay, great. We'll try to do the best here, Preeti. We'll have, with the topic being the resonance factor, key thriving in today's business landscape. What could define resonance means of context to business and why it is so critical in today's landscape?
Yeah. So, resonance is basically the law of physics. If you really see, when we were young enough to understand physics, we were studying the laws like conservation of energy, law of relativity, and everything was with respect to the physical bodies. So, we are also the physical entities made up of the matter only. So, that means that law of resonance apply to our lives also, to the extent that whenever what you mean by resonance, that whenever some external force is applying on a body, on a physical entity, which means that physical body is actually operating in a natural frequency, and when there is some external force coming to this natural frequency, it is going to increase that frequency. That is resonance. When we increase that amplitude, when we increase that frequency, when we increase the vibration, when we accelerate that thing, that vibration, the natural frequency, that is what resonance is. So it applies to everything in our life, whether it is our health, wealth, relationships, our business. We can actually apply this law in such a manner that whatever we want to achieve or attract, we can attract it through the law of resonance, by resonating with it right now, right here, which means whatever I want to achieve, I have to resonate with that frequency of mine. That is the higher version of mine right now, right here, now. I have to resonate with that frequency to reach there. That is the law of resonance. And it actually is so amazing because it is just accelerating your abundance in all forms. So, in business growth, definitely law of resonance can do wonders. Over to you. Yeah, I guess you're on mute.
Sorry about it.
Yeah.
So we are saying resonance is part of life and life has to go with resonance is what we understand. Now, how can business culture cultivate resonance with their target audience in the midst of noise and competition that we have in our regular days going on?
See, when we talk about a business, we have to first resonate with our unique serving proposition. I'm not saying USP as unique selling proposition. I'm just saying as unique serving proposition. How are you going to serve your people? What are you going to serve your people? What thing you can serve them the best? Will you be able to serve them in such a manner that they also resonate with the same frequency in which you are resonating? Okay. So what happens is that in your electromagnetic field, you are inviting those people. You're inviting your audience. They will naturally come to you because you are resonating with their frequency. You're inviting them, you're attracting them, and you are attracting them because of your USP. How am I going to serve them without thinking about the competition? But yes, we have to take care of the needs first. We have to resonate with their needs, what exactly they are looking for. If in case I can look forward to certain things which which are dormant, because needs are dormant most of the times, and we don't realize that we need this thing. Okay. So that is the reason whenever we innovate certain things, whenever we bring certain new things in the market, so there is a possibility that the consumer may not understand the benefits of that thing. But then once it is clear in that person's mind or the consumer's mind, by showing them the benefits of that product, so if it is solving their problem, if it is adding value to their life, if they resonate with that product in terms of value addition, they will definitely buy your product, immaterial of the thing, immaterial of the competitions around, immaterial of anything which can, create that kind of problem or something like that. Even if they're not having money, even when they don't have that need during that time, they don't have that urgency, let's say, okay, of buying that, but they will keep that thing in their mind, because this is one thing that has created that seed, you know, that has planted the seed in their mind. Yes, I need this product. Okay. And once you need that product, once this need is resonated with their frequency, they will definitely come back to you. So it is on you now, on the business organization now, how you are going to show them that what you are serving is so beneficial for them. Okay. So the visibility factor matters a lot. Whether you are resonating with the problems of the consumer, if you are resonating with the problem and then you are giving them the solution, then again you are creating your USP. Okay. So doesn't, it never bothers whether it is competition or it is not a competition or maybe anything else. If the product, if the solution is resonating with the audience, they are going to buy that. And if in case you can show them the benefits to that extent, by showing them that whatever you are serving them is definitely going to help them in their problems, in solving their problems, then they are going to buy that. Through the law of resonance, you can prove that, you can do that, because resonance gives you the clarity, it gives you that kind of confidence inside, that whatever you are serving, you are making it the best. So you have to give that clarity. You have, the customer will also resonate with that clarity, whatever you are showing. So when they are clear in their mind, they will definitely buy that.
Yeah, so I would like to refer what we discussed some time back on that secret that we had discussed, right? So there are so many things that movie had brought in understanding. You have to wish for it, work towards it, and believe that you will get it. So, and the universe has its own ways of presenting to it to you. So that's what I learned. I've seen that movie multiple times. I used to travel to my office from Hebbal to Electronic City, is about 35 kilometers. And every day while I go, I used to watch it once. While I come, I used to watch it once. So there's so many things that it is taught us. What are some of the practical strategies or techniques for building resonance into product, services, and brand messaging?
Okay.
Keeping that resonance brings a lot of things. How do you make it happen
Yeah.
or building it?
Okay. I'll surely give you a few strategies after telling you a few examples. Okay. So, if you have noticed that in our 83 World Cup, during that press conference, when this was asked from Kapil Dev that are you going to win or are you going
Hmm.
to lose the match? And he says that I am here to win. So, that means that losing was not an option. When
True.
you resonate with your losing, when you don't resonate with your winning, then it becomes difficult to win. Okay. So, whenever we pay attention to failing, we will fail. Once we start paying attention to winning, we will never see our failures as losing. Okay. They will become the stepping stones. Similarly, whenever you are creating a product, there are possibility that you may need to improvise it. Okay. So you
Right.
are resonating with the product to the extent that if you feel that this is perfect, that means you're making a full stop there. Okay. You're giving a full stop to that product and see you cannot now. Okay. Now, when you are resonating with perfection, again, you are going to create the problem for yourself. Okay. So, what you are resonating with, that is more important. You have to
Correct.
resonate with your product as a, constant change should be there. What best can I do? What else can I do? How else I can serve? Okay, so these are pretty, intriguing questions which we have to keep asking ourselves to create the resonance, to improve on our resonance. Okay, so first we are resonating with the product, then we are resonating with the market. Okay, now let me ask you, if let's say Ratan Tata has to take some decision. Okay, and he has in his mind that he has to acquire a company or maybe merger, he has to decide about a merger. So while writing the check, he is pretty clear in his mind what is he going to do.
Correct.
Okay, so that means he resonates with that energy frequency which is going to be. It's not there yet, but he has already resonated with that kind of frequency before taking that decision. Okay, but we are resonating with the failures more because we have been failing in the past.
I'll take one example here, Preeti. While it is very closely related, I used to get so one of few of my friends telling me that don't decide that you'll fail and prepare, then go write the exam. Anyway, you are decided that you're going to fail, right? So that's how it resonates, saying that what you are asking for is what you are getting as well. So I think that is where it is closely related. Is I think so.
Absolutely.
So
So
that makes
definitely,
sense.
yes. The what you're saying is absolutely right, because whenever when we see our kids, you must have seen that they are scared of preparing, they're scared of their examination. So that means that they are operating in that vibration of fear. Okay, and
We
that's the
both have
reason.
kids who are writing exams. I think so. That's the same feeling that we are having at home.
So
So
similarly, in doing business also, we create that feeling of fear. So we
yes,
resonate with that fear more than our success. And that's the reason we have the, trail of failures instead of having the trails of success.
yes,
Now, again, physical laws are operating here, because of which
yeah,
the law of vibration says it is going to be tip and dip, tip and dip, tip and dip. Trade cycle will always be there.
yes,
So, in that sense, whenever we are taking a dip, we start feeling that we are failing, isn't it?
yeah,
But we have to resonate at the frequency that one we are taking one step, backward to create a greater leap. You never know. So, your dip
yeah,
can also take you to another tip.
yes,
So when we are looking or when we are resonating at that frequency, that this is something where I'm going to learn something new. And probably when I apply this thing, I'll be more successful, because this is just like, a bamboo seed, which is inside the
yeah.
earth.
That's a very important lesson that we should learn. Bamboo seed does not grow for 5 years. I think
Correct.
5 years, right?
Right.
It does not grow for 5 years, and in 6 weeks, it skyrockets to a size that you are not able to imagine.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's the speciality that we need to understand for everything that has to manifest or resonate. There is an incubation period that is to be taken care, and that's how things happen. And you'll have to persistently put nurture them and see that it takes up a proper shape of bringing it up onto a shape that we are expecting at least. So
Definitely, yes.
yeah,
And one
yeah.
more thing, you were talking about the strategies. So now, after the examples, let me tell you, we have to be very mindful. We have to be very mindful before taking a decision on our product, on our target audience, on our
Yeah.
ways, strategies, what we are going to apply for creating the visibility. We have to think about the audience, brand personality, and our category first. In which category
Hmm.
I am operating, how I have to be mindful about this category. So being mindful, taking the decision when you are in the calm mind, when you are in the quiet mind. So one of the strategies is to take breaks. Okay, so resting period is very very important, so that whenever you are unable to resonate with your higher frequency, take a break, take a chill pill, have a Kit Kat, do whatever you want, just have fun, because law of resonance says that whenever you enjoy and whenever you are in your highest order vibrational match, you are going to create magic, and you will definitely create magic if you are enjoying whatever you are doing.
Yes.
Yeah, over to you.
Yeah. Just wanted to understand. Could we share some examples of companies or individuals who have effective leverage of resonance to achieve success in the market?
I guess the market is full of successful people. You know, when we define success, we generally define it only in terms of money which we are earning. Yeah, but the
Yes.
law says that when you are enjoying doing something, even if you're not getting money, probably you are in that germination stage, incubation period. Now when you will sprout, you will just make that shoot. Okay, so success is that feeling inside you that you are waking up with that satisfaction that you are changing people's life. Okay, so when you start looking at success while creating the resonance for yourself, it might take time, but there is a possibility that without without getting noticed, without coming to your notice, you will feel the success all of a sudden. Okay, so what happens is that we don't give that gestation period to ourselves. So if we really see successful people, be it Tata, be it Ambani's, be it Geo, be it any kind of story, we don't see the failures behind that, isn't it? That's the
Yes.
reason we are only looking at the face of it. We are not looking at the fears, the failures they have failed, they have seen, they have observed in their lives. So pick up any business, first go to their first year, look at their first year of growth. If we talk about Netflix, if we talk about Samsung, any company, so they were not doing well from the day one.
Coke sold 25 bottles in the first year.
Absolutely. So day one is all about doing it wrong. I have to do it wrong because I have to get into the frequency of doing it right one day. So that one day is going to come. Okay. So you have to keep that one day in your mind right now, that I am doing it. For example, if I'm driving a car, in the beginning, you are fearful, you are scared of driving the car. But if in case you imagine yourself to be on the road right now, driving a car, doing that mental rehearsals, that I'm doing it wrong. So in fact, if you're doing those rehearsals without practicing it, it's of no use.
Now, I'll add something here when you said the car part, right? So I was telling somebody recently saying that I think it was one of the kids gathering that we had in the friend circle, right? So we were talking about, they were saying it is scared, I'm scared about many things and stuff like that. So what we told them is, we gave this example saying when I started to learn the car, I used to hold the steering like, yeah, this is as though the steering is going off somewhere. So I used to hold it tight, right, and drive. And as soon as we started to drive it with one hand, the other hand went onto the mobile, right? And we take a call, we drive, but we shift the gears without knowing. And we are so used to that piece of saying it becomes natural. You don't need to say which gear you are in. So you are going with a stride, and that drive which is going, you know when the car is getting slow, you automatically shift to the gear that you want. Still keep on the phone. Still tell your kids don't jump around behind. The car is wobbling, stuff like that, and you still move,
True.
right? That becomes more of an habit rather than. That's where I think even when we talk about the secret, the more you repeat, the more you tell about something, it gets starts to manifest, and the manifest also happens. It is said in one of the books, I don't recall the name of the book, but it said for your mind to get a fixation on something, you need to talk that about 16 times. So 16 times is the place where you become subconsciously aware that it is going to happen.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is you're talking about the unconscious competence. Okay.
Yeah,
So when we become unconsciously competent about doing something, it is only happening when we are planting that seed subconsciously. Okay. So when we are planting that seed, we have to plant with the winning attitude. That's the whole idea. Which means before we learn driving the car, we are looking at ourselves driving the car. Okay.
true.
So that
Yes, we
means
feel.
that to be there, I won't
Yeah.
say fake it till you make it. I won't say pretend. I would rather say believe in your energies that you are gonna achieve that. Just like Kapil Dev believed in the energy of winning.
So I'll take another
Yeah.
example here. While I used to drive, I told you I used to drive long, and I never used to get parking. And I tried whether the secret works. So this I think I did couple of times. I told only one thing is that I park the car. I should get parking either front of the seats or next to the stairs. On I just park my car, walk in to the office. Just just to try. In the secret, they talk about imagine getting a cup of coffee, right? So it comes to the table, right? And I just wanted to understand. Then I did was park the car every day. You will not believe, Preeti, it was there always. When it is packed as well, I used to go in, some car used to get out of that place and I used to park it.
Wow. Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I faced this. Then the curiosity got more, saying that are the characters in this movie, The Secret, real?
True.
Are they? Then what I did is I did a search on the internet and I spoke to Bob Proctor's office.
Wow.
I spoke to the other guy, Joe's office. I spoke to a couple of people, offices. I didn't speak to them directly, but I had a chance to speak to Bob Proctor in one of his sessions. I was part of a Thinking into Results program which Bob Proctor and Gallagher run, right? Cindy Gallagher
I
program
know.
is called
Yeah.
Thinking into Results. I'm a certified person on that. And I had an opportunity to talk to Cindy Gallagher and Bob Proctor while on the sessions.
Lovely.
So it was great. So and there is one more point that has be what Bob Proctor says in The Secret is you have not seen electricity, but it can be used for two things. One is to cook for you and cook you, right? So electricity is used for both.
So
So
here, Premji, I would like to tell you about the Vedic philosophy also. So
yeah,
resonance is there also. I mean, in the Vedic philosophies, if we talk about Bhagavad Gita, if we talk about Patanjali Yog Darshan, they are also giving us the concept of resonance. I mean, if they say karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, so that means that we are going to pay attention to the efforts, not the results, isn't it? So results are inevitable. Results are there in our mind first. That's the reason we are not paying attention to them. We are only paying attention to the karmas or efforts because the result is already there planted in our mind. Okay.
right,
Whether we are going to achieve that result or maybe a God has better plan, you don't know about it. Okay.
true,
So we don't have to put our attention to the same result which we have in our mind. That's another part of the secret. Okay, so we have to be very flexible. Don't be fixed into your thinking that okay, this is what I have to resonate with. So if this is not happening, let it go, etc., etc. No, this is something where you have to give that control to God's hand, to the higher intelligence. Okay, so I'm giving you my control. Maybe if you are thinking of making, 500 crores in your business, and if God is giving you a plan where you are making 5,000 crores, so would you be settling for 500 crores? So the thing is that you have to be prepared for resonating with your highest version, not thinking about the results at that point in time, only thinking about putting in your efforts and putting that resonance to your highest version. That's it.
Yeah, there is another pointer which I think you've gone into the Lead the Field book, right? So, in that, Kevin Costner brings one of the doctor and he makes him play baseball. While the doctor's dream was to play baseball, and he finds out that the doctor was not qualified on the second thing, and they did not make him play for the county. He chooses to become a doctor and he goes and practices. And Kevin Costner knows this, and he says, "Why don't we bring all these doctors and the great players to there?" In that event, it so happens Kevin Costner's brother, I think, knocks Kevin Costner's daughter down, and she turns blue, right? And everybody starts talking is, we need a doctor, we need to have a doctor. And he's about to swing the bat, and he hears, is there a doctor there? So the guy runs to the field and he checks, saying that if he crosses the line, he leaves baseball. If he crosses the other side, he goes save somebody. So he decides to go save that kid. And what they say is sometimes not getting what you want is what is destined for you. So the other side is you are destined to get something which is higher than what you thought. He never played baseball after that, but he became a very successful doctor.
Wow.
He saved that kid,
Yeah,
and that's how the resonance happens. So higher purpose is always important. The universe always gives you better chances to take things, and what we've understood is you have to believe in the journey, and it makes it happen.
definitely, yes. And especially for business growth, I would say you have to resonate with your product, with your positioning, with your visibility, with your price also. At times, what happens is, let me keep this price, a lower one. So if you're not resonating with it, it is going to make you feel bad about it. Whenever you are feeling bad about it, you are resonating at a lower frequency. Okay, so because you are attracting that lower frequency, that's the reason. What happens is that every time you price it lower, you will get lesser sales.
Again, now you you have pulled the right things today, I think, yeah, Dr. Preeti. So I think you know Jack Canfield, right? Jack Canfield goes to a session, and Jack Canfield says he charges about $300, which is very earlier. So he wants to understand, why am I paying, taking my price less? So at that time, there's a mastermind which is going around, and he asked fellow speakers, and how much do you charge? He says 1,200. Then he said, same content, yeah, 1,200. So this guy, why am I charging myself less? So next time he goes and he says, uh, now he has a fixation that the amount is 1,200, which he can ask for, and he goes and he wants to step it up because 300 to 1,200 is a big leap, right? So he goes and says to a what's your price? The guy asks. So he pushes himself and says 600. So they'll say no problem. So this guy is surprised. 600, 100% hike. So how do I? Then he'll ask out of curiosity. Hey Jack, I don't remember the name. I'll refer it as Jack. Hey Jack, how much did you have as a budget? We had $800.
Wow.
So then he says, no sweat, no worries. I'll do it. I've agreed for 600, so I'll do it for 600. 200 is a discount. So he fixes his up, he lifts his price. When you talk about price, we always think that is big. Now, coming to the other pieces of information, now you cannot go and buy a Lamborghini saying that it is expensive. You buy the Lamborghini, you just go buy it. You don't think how much it costs. You need the car,
True.
but they don't advertise, right? They
Absolutely.
don't advertise.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to somebody today in the morning again. They were saying Ferrari, if you want to own a car, you cannot own a car. Ferrari has to decide that you are to be a part of it. So that's what I think. I don't know how much truth is there in that, but Ferrari says Ferrari should own you. That means you have to be making yourself in a capacity that you could own a Ferrari.
Definitely, yes. This is again that even the objects around us, they also have the natural frequency. They are also operating on the vibrations. Okay. And we have to attract that thing towards us. We have to magnetize ourselves to the core of our being that we actually own that thing. Okay. So to own that thing will also own us as its owner. Okay. So we have to resonate with the frequency of that thing also. And it is going to come only in your mind first. Just like Wright brothers conceived the idea of making the plane in their minds first. Just like any, whenever we have to build a house, we have to create that feeling in our mind that this is going to look like this or something like that. Even for a sculpture also, if a sculptor is creating a sculpture, so he has that thing in his mind how he has to create it, and then his job is just to remove the extra stones, nothing else. That's what I have to do when I have to build a business. I know my product, I know my price, I know my audience, I know everything. Still, I'm not successful. Why? Because I'm not feeling success. I have to feel a simple small win every single day. I have to feel that small win so that it becomes a bigger win. That's what I have to do every single day. I have to celebrate. I have to celebrate that I've gone for work. I have to celebrate that I've shown up. I have to celebrate that I've shown my product to some people. Maybe 5 leads, maybe 7 leads, maybe 8 leads. Every day, that discipline has to be there to take the right action. Now, what happens is that we are confused whether this is a right action or this is a wrong action. Again, we are, resonating with the choice. We
Yes.
are not resonating with the end result. So when you start resonating with your end result, you will not fear about any kind of choice. Because even if it is a wrong choice, let's say if you've taken a wrong decision, let's say you went to a developer, he has duped you some money and something like that, and then you are not taking the action because you feel that there are frauds in the market. So we are attracting the frauds because we are resonating at the same frequency. Okay. Now, what we need to do is that we have to find out people and we have to resonate with the person, with that right person. And how we can do that? By working on that thing again and again. Okay. Taking the right decision is always kind of a rejecting the beliefs that this cannot happen.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So the pointer that we should look at is, even though if it is difficult, put an effort to do it, right? It will become easy, right? That's
Definitely.
the point.
Just resonate with
This
the end result. I'll always say resonate with the end result. Things will fall into place.
now coming to our pointers, how do you think the digital world? How can businesses create authentic connections? One is that resonate with customers at a personal level. So, see, what I feel is you have a connect, but you don't talk, right? We all have a phone, we don't talk to the next person sitting to us. In this kind of a scenario, how do you think these authentic connections resonate with customers at a personal level? What is that should be?
Okay. So when you're serving, you naturally create that contact or connect Okay, you naturally resonate with your customer when you are serving the right product to them. Okay, so as you are solving their problems, as you are giving the right solution, as you are adding value to that person, when you are giving your after sale services, you are definitely creating that connection. So you don't have to be there to create that connection. So when you are using Geo phone, your connection is already there. So you don't have to be every time physically present there. Okay, but
Yeah, I have another question from Sridhar. Sridhar is one of our members who's been in our shows, many shows he's come up. I'll bring up here. The question here is, will resonance cause internal stress? Any side effects on resonance?
yes, definitely. Yes, Sridhar, you are absolutely right. Actually, if you resonate with the stress, it will create stress. Today, this morning, I wrote a LinkedIn post and I gave the example of a river. Okay. So, when the river is calm, when the river is peaceful, and when you are putting one stone into the river, it will create the ripple effect. Do you agree with that? So what happens
Yeah,
is when in a calm river, even a small effort, like just putting a small stone, will create the ripples. But if the river is thunderous, would you be able to put in that amount of, would you be able to put in the effect the same way when you were putting it when it was calm? Just think about it. When I'm putting a little small pebble during the thunderous river storm, is it going to create any kind of impact in the river? The stone will be lost, isn't it? So, which means your effort will be wasted if you are creating the resonance inside your mind during that time when you are in your internal stress. Okay. So, anytime, whenever you are feeling bad, take a break. Even if the life is, showing you bad phases, take a break, enjoy it, bring that energy back inside you, and then go ahead. Your work, your problem will be sorted only when you resonate with the high energy. Okay, so when if you are operating at the low energy, don't resonate with that energy. If you are resonating with that energy and taking your decisions at that point in time, your decisions might not give you good results. So you have to be calm to create the ripple effect of resonance.
Sridhar, hope Dr. Preeti has answered your question. So, what roles does empathy play in fostering resonance? One, and both internally within organization and externally with customers.
Okay, so what I'm going to give you maybe an eye opener. Maybe this will create some problem also, controversy also. I don't empathize.
Okay.
Okay, so what happens is that when you are in your calm mind, you don't pay attention to any kind of stress. When you are empathizing, you are mirroring the same emotion. Okay. So what happens is, for example, let me give you examples. For example, whenever you see a movie which is very emotional, and you will also feel that kind of emotion because you're mirroring the same emotion, isn't it? And as you
Yeah,
mirror the same emotion, you will have tears in your eyes. Yeah.
I can relate.
So when you
Yeah,
are empathizing with a person, when you are empathizing, you are creating the same emotion in your own mind. When you are empathizing, you are going to a lower frequency. Instead of putting that person into high frequency, you are coming to a lower frequency. And as you come into your lower frequency, you will resonate with the same frequency, and you are going to attract the same situation in your life.
true.
Okay.
I can relate this, Dr. Preeti. Yeah.
So
So,
instead of empathizing, instead of empathizing, I have to communicate. Yeah. So instead of using empathy as a word, it has to be a communication which is creating that kind of high frequency in that person's mind also. So be a good listener, listen to that person, don't mirror with that emotion by empathizing, communicate and listen to that person, give him that kind of freedom to express. That's it. Let that person communicate, acknowledge that emotion, and let that emotion go away slowly and steadily. Instead of you empathizing with that emotion, you just communicate that I am here to listen to you, I am here to just give you my shoulder. That's it.
I was about to say that I am your shoulder. You can lean on it and see. I think sometimes you're right in saying this is my understanding on the pointers that you said. Is that sometimes people don't want to tell you problems. They need only a person shoulder to lean on, right? So if they are given that comfort, they'll pour out. And once the pour out is happened, they're much relieved than having it in their head,
True.
right? And that makes people very, very this one saying that it is good for them, right? And that's where they feel relieved once that whole pour out is done.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, how can leaders and teams foster culture of resonance with organizers driven innovation and collaboration there?
Yeah. Innovation is something which is very, very important because unless you conceive a new thing in your mind, unless you become more productive in terms of giving new things to the world will not progress. Okay. In economics, the law says that aggregate demand should be equal to aggregate supply.
Demand meets supply.
Yeah. So, because the population is so much, that means that demand cannot be, met if in case you increase the supply. Unless you increase the supply, you cannot meet the demand,
Okay.
isn't it? So we have to be productive, we have to be innovative, we have to be great thinkers, we have to create more things. Creation is going to save the world in the coming days. Yeah. So
Yeah.
leaders should foster that kind of creation by creating new products, by creating new leaders, by creating the new line of leaders. So they have to show that path by the concept called well done,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
they have to show them, they have to resonate with the right thing rather than again and again resonating with the wrong thing. So instead of rebuking, instead of punishing, instead of giving them punishments, or maybe telling them that this is not done or something like that, so you are giving them, you are resonating with the lower frequency, in the lower frequency. When you are resonating in the lower frequency, your employee is not going to deliver the results which you are expecting.
So I'll take this point. And there was one manager who is very close to me, and he's still very close to me. He used to, whenever you call him, he'll pick up the call and he'll not. Ha, Premji bolo. He used to call me Premji, so I say Premji bolo. Then I used to, ऐसा कुछ हुआ है, क्या चाहिए? It relieves all the stress out there. क्या चाहिए? So you tell him, and if he is not able to, समझा नहीं, क्या चाहिए? So when you break that ice there, that guy thinks in different modes. Till that time, you would have not thought what is to be done. But when a manager like that comes in and says क्या चाहिए, it opens a full Pandora box for you. You can ask anything.
Absolutely.
And one of the other, this one is when we relate to secret again, Aladdin Chirag again. So you'll have to ask. It's there. He did not say what to ask. He gave you three wishes. So you have to ask three. What magnitude, what size was not mentioned. Three wishes are mentioned.
True.
And the universe is ready to give you that kind of thing. So it is more to say how. And people always say, I did so many things, it did not work. it will not work. As we discussed in the initial stage, the bamboo tree stuff. It took 5 years for bamboo tree to go, and in 6 weeks it's gone somewhere else. We cannot touch it also.
Absolutely.
That's the okay. Then coming back to our discussion again, what are common misconceptions that resonate in business that would you like to address?
Yeah. So, as I just told you, that you have to get into the highest version of yourself. Okay. So, to operate in that highest frequency, you have to be there before you are
Mm,
there. That is most important part of resonance. We cannot create this resonance because we are not familiar to that success right now. Okay. So, familiarity creates that kind of problem. For example, if I may ask you that, have you seen this fruit called apple? You will say, yes, I have seen that product. Okay. But if I may ask you that, as a fruit, have you seen born? You cannot relate to that because you have never seen that. So, familiarity is a problem because we have not seen that kind of higher version of myself. That's the reason I cannot relate or resonate with that frequency, in that frequency. So, to be there, I have to actually be there, which means I have to pretend, I have to see myself there again and again by creating these situations, by simply creating these simple wins and taking those wins as, leveraging these small wins to create a bigger win. Okay.
yeah. Adding to that, so there was one question again. So a lot of things coming up as you speak, Preeti. You're bringing up many things that I recall. There was one pointer which in one of my classes that I used to do in Wipro, I as an when I worked for Wipro, right? So we used to talk about asking people to imagine and say, ask them, uh, what color is your fridge? So that guy will think, he'll say, he's gone there to his kitchen.
True.
Okay. Now you will ask, two door, four door, again on top. Okay, two door. Okay. Right. It opens left or right, again, kitchen. So what I meant to say is, you always think in pictures, not in words.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Bus, you will not say BUS. You will say red color, orange color, green color, which color?
True.
Right. So we take a lot of things into pictures. So I think that's how manifestation happens. That's how resonance happens. Is what I think. If I
Yes,
not correct.
definitely. Simple terms, may whenever you feel that you want to resonate in your higher energy, make a winner pose. Yes. And
Yes.
you will see your energy, blowing up, coming up, and then take a decision. Yes, I can do it. Whenever you are saying this thing to yourself again and again, you will create that higher frequency, which is very simple to say, isn't it? It's simple. All the processes are very, very simple. When we apply these processes, your internal stress, you can actually have it all if you apply the concepts of resonance, because they are so simple to apply. Winner pose is not difficult at all. You can do it anytime. Okay. So before taking a decision, if you're taking this winner pose, you will operate in your higher frequency. Simple. So these are certain simple strategies which you can apply. And if in case you feel that, okay, I have to do something which is making me uncomfortable because I'm going in, out of my comfort zone. This is making me uncomfortable. So you have to see the larger picture of that. You have to see the larger picture. You have to get into that place before you are there. So when you see from that end result perspective, your end result, your vision becomes your north star, and then it becomes so easy for you to operate in your higher frequency. So make your vision, make your why so clear in your mind that it always remain your north star. It becomes your motive, becomes your motivation. If your motive becomes your motivation, nothing else you need to motivate yourself. So this was my topic of PhD actually. Motivation.
Oh,
So
what motivated doing PhD? Yeah,
yeah,
good.
I did my PhD in human resource management. So I'm not talking
Okay.
about those things right now. But leadership and motivation was my topic, one of my topics. I mean, my main topic was with respect to motivation and leadership. So in that PhD, in that thesis, also I wrote that why we need that motivation. We need that motivation because our motive is not the thing which is motivating us. Okay, we are creating the physiological motives as our motives. We are creating the psychological motives as our motives. We are creating success maybe as our motives. We are not creating significance as our motives.
Exactly, exactly. With that, what are the metrics or indicators that can business use to measure resonance? One, and of their efforts, how do they translate into tangible business
Yeah.
outcomes?
So first thing first is that anything anything can be measured only by the results. What results you are giving? Are your results giving you significance? Are your results making you sleep comfortably? Are you resonating with your product to the extent that it is solving the problem? Isn't it? So when your
Yeah,
results are in your favor, that means that your law of resonance is actually working for you. When every single day any of your customer client is giving you the feed forward that you are doing awesome job, you have added value to my life, so you have to take that feedback from your
hmm,
customers. So when you're taking the feedback, your results are going to show. So your metrics to measure all these things is basically your results, nothing else. So your feedback form, what you can take, from your customers, that can become your metrics to understand whether your law of resonance is working or not. Then you can also take all other things like uh, their results in terms of the product, the improvisations which you are doing in your product, what else I can serve, how else can I serve. So when you are working on your USP again and again that becomes your matrix to show your SWOT analysis when you're doing with respect to your resonance. And every time you get into that kind of threat situation, can you convert that into the opportunity? So if you convert your challenges into opportunities, definitely the law of resonance is working for you. You are going to win.
yes, Dr. Preeti, amazing things, right? So, looking at the overall summary that I would like to take from this session, we are coming to the end of the session. So, I'll summarize in such a way that you'll have to believe in yourself first, trust the universe. There's a lot to offer, and it takes time, and great things take time to happen. So, with that, I would like to bring the session to a closure. Thank you, Preeti, for being here on the show. It's been a great session. We were able to resonate many of the things as you rightly choose the topic to present yourself today. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon again in one of the other episodes soon.
It was
Thank you.
my privilege. Indeed. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.